But we did anyway. And that year I took classes at the art students, which was wonderful, absolutely
You're in the book,
wonderful.
aren't you?
121, forgiveness is the key to happiness.
Yes.
I stopped there a couple of days ago. I try to do at least, start with 15, 20, 30 minutes in each day.
Good.
You see, you've influenced me. You're my chief influencer.
Oh my goodness, there's actually a word out there called an influencer.
Is there?
Yeah.
I didn't make it up.
Well, you're part of the zeitgeist, I guess, of the mind, the one mind that we all share, right?
Yeah, or call me a seed sower.
You're a seed sower, Francis.
Seed
You
sower.
are. You
I
are.
love fleeing seeds.
Yee.
Yes, Bobby and all these daisies have to do with my fleeing seeds last year.
Oh my goodness. Oh, you were flinging the daisy seeds.
Daisy seeds all over the place.
And now we have daisies coming out our ears, as you can see right next to Fran.
You know what I did last year?
We have a nice little display of daisies.
I would see daisies in a field in Freeport somewhere that was near a place to park. And I would pick a few of the daisies and I'd let them dry out in the car and then fling them around down here.
How did this work for this? Oh, good. There's Franny up close.
Eyeglasses and all. Cheers, cheers, cheers.
So I'm just recording a little Sunday morning soiree that Fran and I often have on a Sunday morning together.
Drinking wonderful coffee that has mushroom base.
Yes, the Rise. RYZE coffee out of Boston. It's a very nice mushroom Arabica blend.
And it cures everything.
Good one. Oh, yes, it's the delighting in it that cures, my dear. I swear to God, that was.
It's like a seed is sown in one's heart.
Yes.
Yes.
I'll join you in that. There we go. Oh. We love the tinkle of the wooden spoon stirring the yummy coffee mush together.
Great. We could, wooden spoons make sense.
Wooden spoons. This came from the Rise organization. In fact, it almost has the words on the handle, but they're kind of worn off, I think.
Well,
yes.
Perhaps we should all be using bamboo spoons.
Yes.
Because bamboo is sustainable and hard and
It's wonderful. I even have bamboo underwear, if you can imagine. They make such things, and it's the softest material you've ever felt. Because it's bamboo that's pounded out to the nth, nth, to a fiber that is just as soft as silk, but as strong as...
And the Japanese yukata fabric, which I think is high quality cotton. 30 years ago, I bought a yukata in Japan, and it's just as good as it was 30 years ago. I mean, the fabric is so strong and so lasting. And
how do you spell that?
Y-U-K-A-T-A. And they're long floor-length bathrobes. No buttons. You use a sash to flip it over across the front of your body.
Because you lived there several times in Japan.
7 times. 7 trips to Japan.
Which were extended trips as well.
Yeah, I think the first one was maybe 2 weeks, and then when the Kirin Beer Company people were committing suicide, they hired
Ed Penny.
No,
your husband.
They hired our Japanese sponsor.
Oh, right. Right.
At that, to find somebody that could work with their executives trying to figure out how can we stop the suicides that our mid-level executives are doing, because when they don't get up to the top, they commit suicide as a way of making a statement. I don't know if we did any good on that one, or if Ed did much to help the beer people, but it converted me to drinking cured beer.
There you go, Fran.
Oh, and it was so
From
exciting.
what was the other,
Yeah.
the one you had to switch from? What was the one you had to switch from?
Yeah, well, I sat, the first night we were there, we went to a high-up restaurant that had windows that overlooked a baseball game down below.
Oh, wow.
And I sat next to Dr. Suru, who asked me where I was from, and I said Cambridge, and he said, well, I was in Cambridge last week. So we started talking about Cambridge. He was talking about Cambridge, England.
Oh.
I was talking about Cambridge, Mass.
Yeah.
And he would
Oh,
say
that's
something
funny.
else. I would think, what? You know, what is he?
Yeah. That's funny.
Then we became friends, and Dr. Suru.
Did you have a good laugh when you realized you were talking about?
He had gotten his PhD in New York at someplace like Columbia. So
Oh,
he was
okay.
fluent in English and
What was his profession?
psychology.
So, okay, then he may have studied under Thetford and Schuckman.
Possibly. Except that, yeah, possibly.
What years are we talking?
Oh, way back.
Whoa.
I don't remember.
You're with Ed Pinney, so you're with Ed.
Yeah.
So those years were between...
And I think Ed was adjunct faculty when Thetford was at...
Right. At Columbia Presbyterian.
Presbyterian. I mean,
Yeah, these are the co-scribes, Schuckman and Thetford, of A Course in Miracles.
Yeah.
And it's just interesting to think, here, this Japanese psychologist may have been part of the department where The Course in Miracles was being scribed at the time in the 60s and early 70s.
Yeah. And I remember Dr. Suru telling me that his family rejected Buddhism and became Christian, and threw all their Buddhist stuff into the river, whereupon their neighbors were shocked and horrified. I wish I could bring him back from the dead.
Dr. Suru.
Tsuro, which in Japanese it means something like crane or
Tsuro.
or duck. Tsuro.
Oh, yeah. I studied judo, jujitsu, and karate under two different sensei. Ace Tsukigara in Texas as a judo greenhorn. And he taught us, and his guys taught us, and we went to the nationals, and I made it into the third round or something like that, but it was,
So I'm gonna stay away from you.
Judo, and then I was the judo guy for Masahito Nishida when I went to study in American University. Had a program where Masahito Nishida, who was actually a 6th Dan black belt, he worked at the Washington Star, the Star, and he was a typesetter back in, this is the late 70s, early 80s. They still set type by hand. So here's this black belt typesetter. That's what he did all day. Typeset. If you can imagine. Here's this black belt. Could you imagine? The guy's a typesetter. Watch his hands go. Why did they want him in that job? Well, because he's as fast as a computer. Anyway. But he was our professor, our sensei of the arts of martial arts. And he taught not only karate of the Shotokan karate variety, which is a particular southern Japanese form that is a low center of gravity, low center of gravity, and kata all the time. Kata, practice, kata. Everything is kata. Like he says, at the bus station, kata. At the bus stop, you're waiting for the bus. You have time. You practice in your mind. I find myself doing that. not with forms of karate or anything like that, but with thoughts. Kata, always practice. If you have a minute, if you're at a red light, you can practice either forgiveness or peace or some kind of idea that means something.
Yes.
That has purpose and helps you in your day. So I do gratitude. I'm like, oh, good, an opportunity to give thanks. Good. Breathe in. Oh, thank you. Breathe out. Thank you. Breathe in. And then thank you. Oh, yeah. So it works, just the thinking, the quantum entanglement with ideas. God, let's let go of downtrending, heavy thoughts and take instead the uptrending, light thoughts that take us with them, up into the ethers of happy, joyful, and free ways of being.
Well, you hit the nail on the head. Yes.
In an authentic and integral manner, because integrity is everything. If you're not of integrity, then the star is not a star. It has to be of integrity. So
exactly.
The star feeds its own light, and it's just that's how it is. And so that's my understanding of our energy structure. That we're just little stars of this this amazing energy, the scalar energy that powers the universe, that we are actually toroidal energy forms of scalar energy. Okay, so we seem to have a body for a little while, but it's not the who or the what of us. Mm-hmm. The I am is the eternal energy form of the created soul that I am, manifesting in light. And is it a particle or is it a wave? Oh my God, it's both. Jesus tells us that we're everything in A Course in Miracles. He says, that we're created as everything for everything, because we can't possibly be lacking in anything and be a creation of the all that is. Yeah. The all can only extend itself, which creates all of these, complete and whole creations. Mm-hmm. The only thing that the universe is awaiting is for us to really become the co-creators with God that we are and always have been, but we have slept for a while. That's all. We need to wake up. And so we're waking up. And it's all happening, and it's all in divine right order. So that's today's Pete and Franny and Pete show.
But Franny has one more thing that popped into my head. I don't think there's such a thing in the world of psychology as an integrity scale. Measure integrity. Check. You could
do it. Write it down. Good job.
Yeah.
Because you're either of integrity or you're not. There's no scale. There's no partial integrity. Integrity is or it isn't. It's a is or it's a pass fail.
I think it's pass fail.
Well, in a way, only because the instant we realize that we believe we're of integrity, we'll think of something where we fall out of that. But the thing is, it's always reaffirming the truth only. Reaffirm the truth only. Reaffirm.
So somewhere in between, it's like when baby or young 4-year-old Pete McKinney steals a candy bar from a grocery store, and I discover it as we're getting into the car. So I tell him it's not right to take this, and the two of us walk back into the store, and he gives the bar back to the guy at the cash register and says whatever he said. And the cash register guy smiles and says, "Thank you very much for bringing it back."
I love that.
And he never stole another thing from a store ever. But Mother didn't come down on him and punish in any way. It was, let's get out of this business by returning the stolen thing. And then later, I think I told you the story of my stealing glasses by mistake, going out of it was a drugstore. And I had an appointment, so I go to the appointment, And I come back to the drugstore and return the glasses and feel good. I feel like I've got this something ingrained that means integrity.
Yeah.
You're not gonna
Well, we
stop
are
things.
of integrity in our creation. It's
Yes.
that when we fall out of the idea of the purity of our own creation, we think we've soiled ourselves somehow in sin and guilt, and we deserve to be punished somehow. But you know, it's an insane idea, because the integrity of who we are in our creation can never be changed by anything. Jesus says, no matter what we think, no matter what we believe, no matter what we say or do, it cannot change what we have been created as by God. So,
Yes.
so the statement, I am as God created me, overrides all other possible scenarios.
Yes. Yes.
There's no scenario where that does not override entirely. We all remain as God created us in every scenario, no matter what. So there really isn't anything to fear. Fear is a false evidence appearing real. That's FEAR.
Yeah.
False evidence appearing real. We've given all this false evidence that which, oh, we're bodies, oh, we're in a world where we can suffer and die. Oh my God! Let's get panic ridden. Let's be afraid. And that's all it is. It's just like a film we're watching, a fright flick. You know, people go to these things so that they can become really frightened. Here in this world, this is the only place where that exists at all. Nowhere else do we want to experience fear, except in a fearful place.
But in little ways, I experience fear, and it's an alert. Take a look around your environment. What's going on? And, you know, if it's a suspicious looking person, I don't ask any more questions. I just go across the street to get out of the orbit of what's frightening me. And I don't even, you know, it's just an intuition.
And it's more like a frequency thing, where you pick up a frequency that you're not into, and you say, "Oh, okay, I'm gonna change the channel and get the heck out of here." Yeah.
And not, you know, and go on with what I need to do or I want to do, or you know.
Right.
And so it's a detour, a personal detour. You know, I've never heard that before, but I admitted it. You know, every so often we have to do a personal detour. Like I'm sort of detouring away from my daughter and letting her hold the job of getting in touch with me when she wants to or needs to. And this is a good thing. I'm very comfortable with this. Yeah.
Good.
And
that's it.
That's it.
So long, everyone. We'll see you next time.
Oh, God. Yes. We have to have the... Yeah.
Say goodbye, Fran.
Adios.
Adios.